The real NV87, the blind NV87, the NV87 who doesn't care what the screen looks like. Good morning, it's Monday morning. How do daily vloggers do it? They probably just do what I did on Saturday's vlog, which I have yet to edit, where they just have a thought come into their head or something happens, they turn on the camera real quick and talk about it, and then edit it and put it up. But, I mean, obviously they wake up in the morning and they have no idea what the day is going to bring, but they just start vlogging. And am I a daily vlogger? I don't know. Maybe I will turn out to be, maybe I won't. I mean, there's not necessarily any kind of oath you take that you're going to be a daily vlogger. You just sort of do it, I guess. And then eventually it becomes second nature, I guess. Unless you decide, you know, I'm not going to do this anymore. I don't know. This might be a phase. It might be a thing that takes off and just I keep doing. I don't know. We'll see what happens. It's between 6:30 and 7. I'm not sure exactly what time it is. But tomorrow, at this time tomorrow, I'm going to need to be probably either up or almost up, because I'm going to check and find out what my door-to-door transit. Yes, I'm stuck with door-to-door transit. At least my preferred ride service is able to take me home. Hashtag gratitude. I am thankful for that. But they couldn't take me in to work. So, also hashtag gratitude. They can take me today. I don't really have to wake up until like 8 o'clock if I don't want to, or 8:30 even. Because they're supposed to be here at 9:05 to take me into work, and then they're able to take me home. Unfortunately, they're not able to take me into work tomorrow, and my silly door-to-door transit window, I said have me there by 9:30. They said, what the hell did they say? I need to find out. It starts in the 7 o'clock hour. That's what I remember. And I need to find out exactly what it is, but that's freaking early. But what that means is I'm either going to be there really early, or we have a long-ass drive with many people being picked up and dropped off before we get to my place, which happens. It happens. That's to be expected. With door-to-door transit, you're not guaranteed a direct ride to where you want to go. If you want a direct ride to where you want to go, get an Uber. Anyway, that's what my next couple of days are going to be like, ride-wise. I'm not a huge sports fan, but last week, we have the Trailblazers. That's our local basketball team. I think the closest that we get to a local baseball team is the Mariners, but we have the Trailblazers. And last week, the Trailblazers started their season. They lost their first game. And obviously, fans were pretty disappointed. And obviously, the local news station that I watched, their staff is full of Blazer fans, I'm sure. And, you know, a couple of them are going, well, you know, we had a good game last night. You know, yeah, we're disappointed that we lost. That is sad, but they quoted, as a matter of fact, the guy who was, like, teasing the news at the top of the hour goes, the Blazers are back, but they lost their season opener last night. Blazers player, please tell me how this is okay. And they quoted the player as to say, well, it's okay. We got, like, 81 games left, so we can come back, turn this around. The guy's like, okay, thanks. We can appreciate that. And then the co-anchors are sitting around the desk talking about it. And they're going, it's okay. Like you said, we have got like 81 games. And, you know, it was a good game last night. It didn't turn out the way we had hoped. And then this guy that had been teasing it goes, well, at what point do you say, well, it's only game 2. Well, it's only game 3. They're like, Drew, come on, what are you... Don't be... I think what they meant to say is don't be putting it out there in the universe that they're just going to keep losing. Come on. They can turn this around. Let's give them a chance. Come on. So, I believe Game 3 was Game 3 last night? And they won it. I'm not sure when Game 2 was, but they won that because they were running a sports summary more than a couple of minutes ago, probably. But they were saying something about a second win. I'm like... Huh, Drew. Now what do you have to say? They turned this around, see? I know. For some people, me included, it's really easy to look at the negative. But why do that, you know? And certainly why put it out into the universe, you know? On the one hand, you'd think that him saying, well, at what point do we say, oh, well, we only lost game 2, we only lost game 3, we will not make them lose game 2 and game 3. I mean, it's true that, first of all, it didn't make them lose that. They turned around and won it. But, again, why put it out into the universe? Or why... I mean, on the one hand, you'd think that the universe, God, fate, whatever any individual might believe in, is not necessarily listening and saying, okay, well, we'll make that happen. But, I mean, I guess it depends on what a person believes. Some people believe you get what you put out there. Others believe, well, God's in control. The universe is in control. It doesn't have to happen. For whatever reason, they choose to let this happen. What do I believe? Obviously, I certainly do believe that there's a higher power, that we are not all powerful people. If we were, let me tell you, if I had a lot of power over what took place in my life, you better believe some things that happened would not have happened. Would I make myself cited? I don't know. But would one thing in particular have happened when I was like 11 years old? Hell no. Would some of the things that happened after that happen? Hell no. And yeah, I no longer care what anyone thinks about what I say. I mean, I'm not going to go cuss somebody out to their face. But yeah, I'll say what I think. And if anyone doesn't like it, too bad. And you can either stay subscribed and learn to live with it, or as bad as this is for my overall goal as being a YouTuber, it's okay if you don't want to be my subscriber anymore. Because I'm not going to be careful about what I say to make you happy. Anyway, I do believe that there is a God, but I'm not sure I put much credit into the stars, but I think God, the universe, I don't know, maybe they work together. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know. All I do know is that I think...
Also, the Blazers beat the Mavericks last night in their second win of the season.
See?
At one point, though, Rip City trailed by 19 points.
There, I just heard it. We all just heard it. I'm going to leave that there because it solidifies what I just said. Fate, God, the universe, whatever you believe in, isn't necessarily making plans based on what you say. You know, they're not necessarily saying, well, I suppose we'll just cause bullcrap to happen with that game because that guy said, well, they're just going to keep losing. At what point do we say, oh, well, we only have 63 games left. We can turn this around. But on the other hand, why put that out there? That's what I just spent 6 solid minutes trying to say. Fun or not so fun fact about me, I have a hard time being concise. I think we've made that kind of clear. So now that I am up, I might as well get a workout in. Am I becoming a morning person? I don't know. As soon as I must get up in the morning, I won't want to. But here I am up, and I'm like... But I'm going to go ahead and say this. I don't know if I should, but I'm going to say it. Especially to you morning people out there, any secrets on getting up early and then staying alert and at your peak through the workday? I love my job, I really do. And I want to keep it, but how many close calls can I have potentially either falling asleep or coming close to falling asleep? Thank God I haven't been caught doing that yet, but I would like that to just not happen. And sometimes I fall asleep even earlier than 9 o'clock. Last night I fell asleep like probably between 9 and 9:30 or something. I mean, I'm getting to bed in plenty of time. It's not like I'm staying up until 3 o'clock in the morning and then expecting myself to wake up at 6 and still function through the workday. But any tips on staying sufficiently conscious and close to conscious the whole day? And don't say go to Starbucks over lunch and get a coffee because, well, number one, going anywhere over lunch is a 15-minute, half-an-hour lunch break is And given that there is no Starbucks like right next door to my place, there's nothing right next door to my place, I don't think, except a stupid car dealership. Well, not a stupid car dealership, but a car dealership that I'll probably never have any business in. Number one, I'm not a coffee drinker. Number two, there's not a Starbucks right next door. Although, if I wanted coffee, I think there's coffee machines at work. But I am not a fan of the taste of coffee, so that's not going to work. Wow, the Nationals dominated in the beginning of the World Series, but now the Astros are coming up. They have 3 wins. Again, I'm not a big sports fan, but it's all over the news, so it's like, yeah. Call reserve on speaker.
Calling reserve. Work on speaker.
All reservationists are now helping other callers. Please stay on the line. The next available reservationist will assist you. Your estimated wait time is less than 60 seconds.
I should be getting up and moving, but I'm just kind of sitting here feeling lazy. I'm like, let's get something done. Let's confirm tomorrow's rides. A ride, rather. It's one ride, but I don't even know what that window is. Okay, yeah, that must be a lot of pickups and drop-offs between there and there. Okay, all right, thanks. Bye. It opened earlier than I thought. I think I heard it and I was like, oh, geez, okay. And I kind of barely paid attention. 7:36 to 8:06. That's going to be an early-ass morning. That means 7:06 to 8:06 is the window. That doesn't mean I need to be ready to leave at 8:06. That means if they show up at 7:36, my ass needs to be ready to leave. So, open clock. I'm going to set an alarm clock for 6:30 so that, starting the alarm's at 6:30 because I need to be, at 6:30, hour warning. 7 o'clock, half hour warning. 7:15, maybe give them a call and find out what your ETA might be because your window opens in 15 minutes. Yeah, I do not believe there's going to be a workout happening tomorrow morning. There might not even be one happening this morning if I'm so lazy for much longer, but it could happen this morning. There's no way it's going to happen tomorrow morning. I don't have to do it every day, but I want to do it for health's sake. I want to do it at least twice a week, like the doctor said, maybe even more, but at least twice. I think October is too early to be playing that song. Some people think Christmas starts on November 1st. Personally, I think whatever happened to the days when it started after Thanksgiving. You'll probably hear that in more than one vlog because that's just one of those thoughts that I have that I believe kind of strongly in. I mean, what is that day that we take off Thursday and sometimes Friday for in late November? That
with your purchase of select cafe appliance.
it's Thanksgiving, not
Get the best for less at
Black Thursday.
appliance experts.
Whatever happened to Black Friday,
The search continues for a Washington.
I think it should start after Thanksgiving, not before. I mean, it is true there's not a lot of Thanksgiving music, and maybe musicians, modern musicians should change that, but I still think November 1st is early to be doing. I'm probably the minority there, but give November back to Thanksgiving and start the Christmas season on Black Friday. It is not Black Thursday. I'm sorry. I'll probably never embrace Black Thursday.
Back now, 7:30 on this Monday morning, October the 28th, 2019.
I want to take a second, especially if I'm going to turn into a daily vlogger here, that just say that if you hear this, that's like, I know that's not ideal, but it's, look at it this way, it's a lot better than this. Don't you think? What's going on is I have a little case, around the neck case thing that I've kind of doctored up with the neck strap of one case and the case that came with this DM620 Olympus recorder. A lot of cameras have literal neck straps, apparently. If Olympus has a neck strap, I don't know about it. Recorders never come with neck straps. They come with these things that you can put around your wrist. No, thank you. That doesn't fit around your head. It doesn't fit around your neck, and I want something I can put around my neck. So I doctored up this thing, and I put the recorder in it, and as I'm walking around, this happens. So, sorry that happens. I'm not crazy about it either, but I think it's the lesser of the two evils, and, you know, we may just have to live with it, because this is as close to a neck strap as what I can get right now. It's not been as long as it should have been, but it's better than not doing it at all. Maybe I should go back and do this again later, but right now I just...
It plays all new songs from Disney's Frozen 2.
They're vacuuming literally right outside my door. That's what you're hearing. I should have done this weekend, but I didn't. So I gotta do it now. Cutting up an apple. I know that some of you might say, you know, you could just sink your teeth into that whole apple. Well, I could, but because of dental work, I just am being really careful. I've been messing with this tooth for 30 years on and off. Getting it repaired and rebroken because I'm not as careful as I should be. Repaired, it rebreaks, repaired, it rebreaks. I'm like, okay, now that I've had this whole extraction and implant, can I please just have it in there forever? I would like to have to deal with this again as minimally as possible. And that means taking some care. Did I just cut right through the core? That was kind of hard to get that knife through there. It's always nice to just have it prepped and I can just grab and go, or just eat it in like 5 minutes. I mean, look at Friday. I had to like grab and go because I was sitting down and eating breakfast and a text came through. You have a cab coming to pick you up because your preferred ride service couldn't make it happen with one of their vans and we're on our way. It's like, okay. That is just tragic. You hear that? Is that turning into mass shootings the norm? Neither one of those should be the norm, but you hear about it more and more. Sad world. These kind of apples aren't bad, but I'm glad I know what I really like. I finally called. They randomly happened to get the right thing for me, and I called them back and said, "What did you get?" They said, "Here's what we got," and I'm like, "Okay, noted." These aren't bad. They'll get me through until my next grocery delivery, but if I could get the right thing next time. Glad I know what the right things are now.
Commando.
They say an apple a day keeps the doctor away. There might be truth to that. I mean, obviously you've got to see the doctor at some point or another, but I don't know if there's any literal science that says, you know, if you eat apples every day, you would have to see the doctor less often than you would if you didn't, but my thing is you're supposed to eat some amount of fruit a day, probably more than meat and frozen vegetables and certainly popcorn. I don't know where popcorn lies in the 5 food groups. There's 4 food groups. However many food groups there are. The point is, I used to like hardly eat any fruit, if ever. Now an apple a day. You know, little things that can promote good health. Never anything wrong with them. I'm going to finish it though without you because I suspect you don't want to sit here and listen to me eat for a solid 20 minutes. As always, it's taking too long for me to do what I need to do. I hope I'm not forgetting anything, but I really don't have time to think, oh shit, I forgot that, and run back and get it. Okay, we are at 20 plus minutes, and if this goes beyond 30 minutes, my Tunes to Tube video conversion software will not be able to take it. So I think we're going to have to stop this now, and we will see you next time for Monday Vlog Part 2. Please follow me on Twitter, or if you must, on Facebook. Check out the description below for services and petitions that I believe in, and I'll see you in the next video when you hear what I have to say.